Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And we have big news breaking from Manchester United, and that is that Ralf Rangnick has officially been appointed as Manchester United interim manager. This is what has been announced. Manchester United is delighted to announce the appointment of Ralf Rangnick as interim manager until the end of the season, subject to work visa requirements. I wouldn't worry about the work permit and work visa requirements. It's something that obviously they have to say because there's not a guarantee he'll pass it, but let's be fair, he will pass it. Following this period, Ralf and the club have agreed that he will continue in a constituency role for a further 2 years. John Murtagh, Manchester United football director, said Ralf is one of the most respected and innovative coaches in Europe. He was our number one candidate for interim manager, reflecting on the invaluable leadership and technical skills he will bring from almost 4 decades of experience in management and coaching. Everyone at the club is looking forward to working with him during the season ahead and for a further 2 years in his advisory role. Ralf Rangnick said, "I'm excited to be joining Manchester United and focused on making this a successful season for the club. The squad is full of talent and has a great balance of youth and experience. All my efforts for the next 6 months will be on helping these players fulfill their potential, both individually and, most importantly, as a team. Beyond that, I look forward to supporting the club's long-term goals on a constituency basis." And then it just says Michael Carrick will remain in charge of the first team until Ralph's work permit visa is finalised. The club wishes to place on record its thanks to Lokomotiv Moscow for their cooperation in the process to bring Ralf to Manchester United. And I can't wait either. I think it's a huge announcement and appointment. What Ralf will bring, he'll bring high press, he'll bring proper coaching, and look, that's the 2 things we want. He'll bring attacking football, not just long ball. And the days of seeing Manchester United sit back and defend, struggle to beat low blocks, so on and so forth, are now over. And thank God it's over. Now we go over to Twitter. Fabrizio Romano just tweeted out what we already knew. He said, official Ralf Rangnick has been appointed as Manchester United manager, following, and then so on and so forth. If I remember correctly, I'll go to the full screen first. That apparently that Ralf Rangnick will be bringing in some of his own coaches. However, it seems like a lot of the people like Carrick will remain, which isn't ideal, but at least we are going to get some of his coaches and not just stick with the ones we've got already. Right, let me see if I can find it. Well, I mean, I can come back to this screen now. So this is just basically people's reactions. So, if you have the official announcement, Jurgen Klopp and Tuchel with the master of the Gegenpress, Ralf Rangnick, Maguire must be dropped. Look, I don't know what team he's going to play, but I think he's excited. I mean, let's be real here. For a long time, we've admired the way that Liverpool have played. That high press, the way that Chelsea have played, and now we have it for ourselves. This is what Gary Neville's had to say. "Welcome to the greatest football club in the world, Ralf Rangnick. A contract for 6 months to coach the team, a contract for 2 years to coach the club." And I think Gary Neville makes an interesting point there about the coaching the club. For how long have we said this club is run like a joke? Finally, we look like we're actually starting to run the club properly. If you notice in the official announcement and statement from Manchester United, who was it that spoke out? It was John Murta. It wasn't Ed Woodward. It was John Murta. Someone who, I don't know how much he knows about football, but knows more than Ed Woodward. And he's the one putting out these announcements because by the sounds of it, Woodward isn't doing that anymore, which is what should have always been the case. Woodward's biggest problem at Manchester United was always the fact that he doesn't know football. So when he made these footballing decisions, he based it off, well, he had nothing to base it off really, did he? Commercially, he's always been fantastic. So if this had been the way since he took over, he got in. Well, obviously, I would have preferred someone better than John Murta. But for example, let's just use John Murta. If the day he came in, not Ed Gill, is it Brian Gill? When Gill left with Sir Alex Ferguson, if Ed Woodward came in, hired John Murta straight away, a lot of the fans' hatred towards Woodward wouldn't be there because what he does commercially is fantastic for the club. How he gets massive sponsorships for this club, despite the fact we're being in some dire places, is impressive and good for the club. It's the fact he does stuff like hire Ollie, give him a 2-year contract or a new 3-year contract. Things like that is why he needs to go. But like I said, it looks like we are finally starting to act like a proper club. What else has been said? So these are just a number of the talent Ralf Rangnick has found over his time in management. So Firmino, Upamecano, Mane, Naby Keita, Erling Haaland, Joshua Kimmich, Marcel Sabitzer, and Timo Werner. That's not like when these were at their prime. This was early in their careers. And that would have been with, well, Hoffenheim or RB Leipzig / Salzburg. So what that tells me is he has an eye for talent on a shoestring budget. Imagine that now with hundreds of millions pounds. Manchester United have one of the best footballing brains for once at this club. He's a great squad. He has a great idea for tactics and systems. He's just fantastic, isn't he? The only question we have to wait for is how long do we think this work permit is going to take to get done? Because obviously we want him in training straight away, don't we? And that probably isn't going to be the case. I personally believe it will be done within the next, well, probably by Wednesday. I would imagine he'll be coaching in the dugout for the Arsenal game, which is the most important thing, really, isn't it? Although, look, while I do actually think we are going to see a fairly big uplift in performances straight away, don't expect us to be pressing like Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool team straight away, because that's not realistic. Right, so this is what I was trying to find. Ralf Rangnick is being allowed to bring in a small number of his own staff, but the expectation is that Michael Carrick, Mike Phelan, Kieran McKenna, and Richard Hartis will stay on at Manchester United. So this is kind of what we expected to happen, isn't it? Look, when an interim manager comes in, it's not often you see him being able to bring in all of his own staff, because obviously he's interim. Preferably, them lot would go because, let's be real here, they're not good enough, and we've said that for a very long time. But now we have a proper manager in charge of them, saying, no, your coach, this is how you're coaching them, this is what you're doing, this, that, and the other, rather than you going, Carrick, you go coach how you want to, or whatever, which it was the case under Ollie. You don't, look, obviously you want the best coaches, but if Michael Carrick is being told to do a certain thing, Carrick's going to have to do it or he will be gone. So, while it's not ideal that we're not going to be able to bring in everyone and a whole new coaching setup, to bring in one or two and to have a proper manager in charge of said coach, the existing coaching staff, is a good plus. I think that's about all the news on Ralf Rangnick. I'll quickly just double check. Yep, that is all. That is everything we've got. I imagine it's tonight. I don't know, but Ronaldo's not travelling. That's all I know. 7:30 Greenwich Mean Time. So 7:30 in the UK. But just to go over, hold on. What a surprise! Graham Souness has jumped out. Let me just load that up on so I can show you guys. Graham Souness has spoken on TalkSport. Well, I mean, let's just go through TalkSport because they've got a lot of stuff here. So, Graham Souness has said, Rangnick's CV is not a CV you go, wow, at. It doesn't jump out. He developed clubs over a 5-10 year period. That's not what United need now. I don't get Rangnick's appointment on any level. I just don't get it. What a surprise. I do not understand this Rangnick appointment. It's extraordinary. Our fans are a joke. I've never seen fans accept mediocrity like ours. You have to hear this epic call from a very, very frustrated United fan. What a surprise. That Manchester United, that TalkSport don't know what they're doing and are letting idiots on like Graham Souness. In 2018, Ralf Rangnick's last season as a manager, RB Leipzig had the most offensive actions leading to goals of any side across Europe's top 5 leagues. His side created and maximised transitions so well. So basically that means he thought RB Leipzig that season forced the most mistakes, most turnovers high up, which then eventually led to goals. Which just proves how good of a coach he really is. But yeah, so just to round this off, we'll go over everything that we've already said, just for those who are new. Why have I just got a big old picture of Fred? There we go. So, the first piece of news is obviously United appoint Ralf Rangnick as interim manager. This is what Manchester United said. Manchester United are delighted to announce the appointment of Ralf Rangnick as interim manager until the end of the season, subject to work visa requirements. Following this period, Ralf and the club have agreed he will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. John Murtough, Manchester United's football director, said Ralf is one of the most respected coaches and innovators in European football. He was our number one candidate for interim manager, reflecting the invaluable leadership and technical skills he will bring from almost 4 decades of experience in management and coaching. Everyone at the club is looking forward to working with him during this season ahead and then for a further 2 years in his advisory role. Ralf Rangnick has said, I'm delighted and excited to be joining Manchester United and focused on making this a successful season for the club. The squad is full of talent and has a great balance of youth and experience. All my efforts for the next 6 months will be on helping these players fulfill their potential, both individually and most importantly as a team. Beyond that, I look forward to supporting the club's long-term goals on a consultancy basis. Like we said, Graham Souness is he doesn't know what he's talking about half the time. So, let me try and find out get the coaching staff tweet again, and here it is from Sky Sports. So just to reiterate, Ralf Rangnick may bring a small number of staff to the Manchester United coaching team. However, the current staff, so Carrick, McKenna, Phelan, so on and so forth, will remain as at Manchester United, which isn't ideal. Of course it's not, but I'm more than happy to have Ralf Rangnick here. If we can't bring in more staff, but obviously that's a bit of a shame, but having Ralf in is better than nothing, isn't it? Anyway, that is going to be it from me today. Just a quick one to announce it. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you all for the next one, which will probably be the Manchester United preview for the Arsenal game, where we will have Ralf Rangnick at the helm in a bit. Peace.